Hello, Ramley and other family. I'm Time, and I'm so excited for this live stream. I have a very special guest coming up. J.C.Eaglestalk. The link to his channel is in the description below. He is an Eagles fan, but if you go to his channel, he's just such a cool guy that you feel like you can talk football with. I'm so excited that he is here today to talk football. We're going to talk about the Eagles. We're going to talk about the Rams. And we might talk about anything else. And so if you're watching on the replay or watching live, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to Payout Time. But also go check out J.C.Eaglestalk, a fantastic YouTuber. I'm excited to see his content in the future. But, this guy is awesome. Anyway, I'll bring him on, but right after the intro. Yes, indeed. Here he is, J.C.Eaglestalk. Welcome to Payout Time. How are you today?
Hey, you know what? First of all, thank you for that great introduction, man. I felt like I was the president of the NFL coming on this set right here. So I appreciate it, man. Yo, I had a great day, anticipating this time right now, because I love talking football. I love talking other teams. Football, my team football. If it's football, count me in. So I'm excited. I'm pumped up and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Well, JC, there's so much we could talk about because it's fun that like training camps have started and there's actually, I love it that, the July blues of nothing is gone. And we could talk about stuff other than Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yes, that's true.
Can I start off with a question of just, for anyone watching, whether on the replay or live with us now, who are you? Why should they subscribe to your channel? And, what do you got coming up in the future?
All right, look, hey, like Payo Time said, I'm JC from J.C.Eaglestalk. I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagle through and through. I've seen it all. I've been through the 4 NFC championship, hasn't reached the promised land, even though in 2004 we lost to the cheating Patriots, and then the next year they found out they were cheating the whole time. But it is what it is. But we finally got over the hump, a few years ago, and that was a great feeling. I talk all sports. I know all teams. I mean, if you want, like, regardless who's your team or not, you will want to subscribe to my channel. Come check me out because I'm not biased. I just tell the truth. Regardless, I dissect stuff before I put it out there. So some people may call me delusional, but at the end of the day, I do play fantasy football, and I have my own league in fantasy football, and I've made it playoffs every year I'm in fantasy. So I kind of know who the guys are, who to pick, who not to pick, who's trash and stuff like that. So look, if you love football, regardless what fan you are, a 49ers, Rams, NFC West, North, whatever it is, come check me out. And when I'm on live, just hit me up with whatever question you want, and I will answer it. And trust me, the Philly fans are not as bad as people say we are.
Yeah.
We're just passionate. So I'm just saying, we're just passionate fans, man. Who cares about Santa Claus getting snowballed? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about Santa Claus, but hey, like I'm saying, hey, I'm down to earth. Just ask me whatever you want, and I will answer to my best of my abilities.
Awesome. Well, thank you for putting everyone on notice that Philly fans are actually nice, kind-hearted people, whether they throw snowballs at Santa or not. So JC, let's talk a little bit about here. So you got a new quarterback situation. So do the Rams. Goff and Carson Wentz will always be compared to each other. They were drafted 1 and 2. And so let's start off with that. How do you feel that the Eagles traded up a lot to go get Carson Wentz?
Well, I mean, look, in the beginning, I've always been a fan of Carson Wentz.
Okay.
I didn't watch him in college. I saw his highlights, but he reminded me of a Brett Favre type of quarterback. He take risks and stuff like that, but he's a winner. He won a lot in college. So when the Eagles mortgaged the whole future, I was like, okay, all right, like I lived through the McNabb year, the Vic, the Nick Foles, the Sam Bradford.
Oh yeah.
Carson Wentz had because he's no longer with the Eagles, so had the most ability, a complete quarterback, accurate runner, passer. I mean, the toughness, the never quit attitude. So I was okay with it and I was happy with it. And the Browns, like, the first game, they were regretting that decision, that we traded up from wherever it was at, from 12 to 2 with the Browns at that time. So look, I'm still a big Carson Wentz fan, at least for this season, because if Carson Wentz succeed, the Philadelphia Eagles get a first round pick. Right now, it's a second round pick. But if he goes to the playoffs or plays 76% of the snaps, the Philadelphia Eagles get a first round pick. So we will have 3 first round picks next year. So
that's okay. So Eagles fans are still huge fans of Carson Wentz. Okay, thank you for explaining that.
So it's like a split. I mean, I try to convince the Eagles fans. I'm like, look, we need to cheer for Carson Wentz. When the Eagles are not playing, if you're not watching the Philadelphia Eagles, you need to watch the Colts. Y'all need to become a Colts fan this year because his future, like our picks, is tied to him being successful. So I'm still his fan. Like I still have his jersey. I'm not gonna burn it. I think it was expensive. So it is what it is. I was still worried from time to time. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean.
We have a question here from a loyal subscriber, North Dallas 40. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And he's saying, who's worse, Goff or Wentz? And it's such a aren't they two of the most like fascinating, like high profile quarterbacks ever?
I know, back to back. They both, Carson Wentz was injured, but they both made it back to back Super Bowls.
Yep.
Imagine, first pick in the draft was Goff, second was Wentz. And if Wentz didn't get hurt, I believe that we still would have went to the Super Bowl because that year he was hot.
He was on fire, yeah.
Goff, I believe Goff is more of a system quarterback. We saw him under Jeff Fisher. Yeah. But every quarterback under Jeff Fisher sucked.
Yeah, terrible.
So, but Carson Wentz had more ability than Jared Goff. The scrambling, like in order to make plays, like the ducking into the pocket, escaping 20 people around him, like Houdini like. So I would say Goff is worse because he definitely need a lot more talent around him to succeed than Carson Wentz.
I think I'm gonna kind of agree and disagree with you in that. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you're a Rams fan. Of course you're gonna agree to disagree.
No, that's what I see it. Like if you look at it, I'll say it now. In retrospect, both Goff and Wentz probably got overdrafted. Like when you compare them to other number 1 and number 2 overall quarterbacks, I think Wentz has had some phenomenal games. He had the one season where he absolutely was a front runner be the MVP at one point. Goff, he's had some games where he balled out for sure. I would say that Wentz is probably better, but Goff is more reliable. And like, at the same time,
coachable. Yeah, definitely. He's more coachable too.
Yeah, like at the same time, I think that there's a reason that both these high-profile quarterbacks are on new teams this year. Yeah. And I think it's fascinating. Like, so you could make an argument that like this past season, Goff had the better team with the Rams than Wentz had with the Eagles.
Oh, absolutely.
But next year, Goff has the worst team with the Lions, and Wentz has the better team with the Colts.
So we about to see, right? Yeah, we about to see. But yeah, I mean, but during that draft, you say that they both got overdrafted, right? Mm-hmm. But during that draft, the only quarterback that's still succeeding is Dak Prescott, which was a 4th round pick, and nobody would have ever saw his talent if Tony Romo didn't get hurt. Yeah. But also he went into a perfect situation. The offensive line was a beast, was like number one offensive line, a number one running back. So all you had to do is not F it up.
Yeah.
Like, just don't mess it up. And then they literally ran through Zeke. I mean, they did not, I think that year, Dak probably had maybe 1,500 yards or 2,000 yard passing, maybe. But he didn't have a lot because Zeke was the man.
Yeah.
So he was protected. It gave him confidence. But the other quarterbacks went into a situation, no offensive line. Like, I think Ty Gurley was there for y'all when Golf got there, right?
Yeah, Doug really was. And,
yeah.
JC, we have some fun comments coming in here. I got to give some shout outs.
Hey, let's go.
So we definitely have the Sports Star, huge Titan fans. Welcome on in. So glad you're here. And we also have an Advent Colts fan, Jared Persad here. He's saying Wentz for MVP, hashtag for the shoe.
Dark horse. I said it. He's a dark horse MVP. Like, no lie. The only bad thing I have to say about Wentz is the way he left Philly, how he kind of said, once they drafted, Hurts, I kind of I knew it was over this and that, but they paid you like the year before they paid you $30 million for you. They invested in you. So are you that weak-minded? So that's the only thing I have against Wentz. But besides that, I won't bash the guy. He helped us get our first Super Bowl. Absolutely. I would never bash a guy like that. So
yeah, absolutely. And North Dallas 40 is asking, what do you think about the new Rams wideout, Deshaun Jackson? I hear he's pretty good, eh?
He can't stay healthy, man. Okay. I love I'm the biggest Deshaun Jackson fan. He will be the greatest wide receiver deep threat in the NFL when his career is over. Yeah. Maybe even in Philadelphia. He just can't stay healthy. Like, they trusted him for 2 seasons in Philly, and he played the first season he was there. He played 1 game against Washington, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was hurt for the rest of the year. The following year, he played, but the lingering injury. So I don't think the Rams is going to use him a lot. Mm-hmm. I think the Rams is going to use him for like a deep threat, like it may be third down situations or maybe 20 plays a game, but he's not going to be their number one. I'm telling you right now, he can't stay healthy. Yeah. Y'all need him for the playoffs. So
I think on the Rams depth chart, like the way it is right now, he's going to be either a number 3, 4, or 5 receiver.
Yeah, because you got Cup,
and Wood,
Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds has gone to the Titans, but we have Dan Jefferson, who looks promising. They drafted Tutu Atwell pretty high in the 2nd round. And just in general, we have some other offensive weapons that I don't think Deshaun Jackson at this point in his career is going to be asked to do what he's not, been known to do. But I think he could have some big plays. And there's a video from training camp of a really awesome throw from Stafford to Jackson. Jackson was able to burn a DB, and he got it for a touchdown. So he's still got
training camp. Training camp. We saw it too. And we saw it the whole training camp and 1 game. And then we got burnt for the other 31. Where are you at? On the bench somewhere. Hey, I think that your coach might use him in the returning game. Mm-hmm. He's lethal, in the return game. So I don't know who's your return man, but if he's not a 1, 2, or 3 guy, why not use him on the return game?
Yeah, there's a training camp battle for that, and Deshaun, his name has been floated there, but there's some other guys that could do it. We're not sure who's going to be our return guy yet, but JC, a couple of other shout outs we're going to give here. Right. Rams House TV, love you guys. We're saying Ramley and Pale. Rams House with his new logo coming into the stream. He's saying hello, welcome, what's up, and yeah, we got a party in here coming right now. Thanks everyone.
Hey, bring the party on. It's a party, man. Every time you can talk about football, it has to be a celebration.
Absolutely.
Football is back.
Yeah. I think we're 42 days away from the first game of the season as of today. So it's coming.
September 9th is the first, I think, a Thursday night game. So yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. So now, JC, North Dallas 40 is also saying Cowboys will destroy the future fourth place in the NFC East Eagles in both games this year. So he's not very high on the Eagles this year.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into that. Okay. Let's talk about that. The Eagles, new coaching staff, probably one of the worst press conferences for a head coach to like. That was just so awkward. Anyway,
all right.
But not just like he could still be a great coach.
Absolutely.
You can't trash a guy because of a bad opening press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, I want to hear your thoughts on him as your quarterback moving forward. Do you have confidence that he can lead the Eagles back to the playoffs, back to the Super Bowl? What are the expectations for this Eagles teams headed into this next season?
All right, so let me ask you a question. Before I answer that question, Sean McVay, perfect example.
Yep.
His first year, how did he do? He caught the league by storm.
Yep.
So, I mean, did you believe in Sean McVay when he first got hired?
I did, but that's mainly because I was just so glad Jeff Fisher was gone. So.
Anybody's better. Like, I believe that any coach that came after Jeff Fisher was going to be like a relief for the Rams. So that's not even a fair question. All right, so let me answer the question. All right, look, the press conference thing is normal jitters.
Yeah.
I mean, never been put on spot before and stuff like that. So I could understand that. I mean, we all been through a interview or been nervous and blah, blah, blah. And then we got comfortable.
Yeah.
And then we started, warming up, say, okay, all right, I could do this. So that's number one. Number two, the rock, paper, scissors thing got taken out of context for real. It got the rock, paper, scissors, how you pick your draft picks and, how you talk to them and stuff like that. It got taken out of context because in every interview, the first thing they ask you is what? Tell me about yourself to relax you a little bit. So the rock, paper, scissors was an icebreaker, but people just took it and run. Oh my God, the coach is doing rock, paper, scissors to draft. No, he did not do no rock, paper, scissors to choose to draft. He's smarter than that. But it's a story, and people ran with it. So I have a lot of confidence in him. If you go back to OTAs and even today, he's a coach on the field. Like he's a hands-on coach. Like he's like, no, stop. He's teaching a Heisman Trophy winner what to look for in a DB. Like he was like, hey, run straight towards the DB. All right. If the DB don't pivot, hey, you're not good yet. Wait till he turns his hips. Once the DB hips his turn, you got the advantage because now you can come back, go out, or just fake them out. So he's teaching a Heisman Trophy winner how to be a little bit better, what to look for, the little things to look for. He's a coach on the field. I love the hire. Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles always been successful in hiring the unknown.
Okay.
The Ray Rhodes, the Andy Reid, the Chip Kelly, the Doug Peterson. We don't have a losing record. Like we are great when it comes to head coach that nobody else wants because now Philadelphia fans and players have a chip on their shoulder. We're blue collar fans and workers. We love to be the underdogs, and that's why this year, Dallas. What was his name again? North
Dallas 40. Yeah.
All right. Look, but is he a Rams fan?
He's a huge Rams fan. Yeah.
All right. So okay, and his name is Dallas.
No, North Dallas 40 is his favorite movie. It's a football movie from the 70s.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Look. Check this out. I'm glad you say future fourth place. The future is not this year. So we're not going to be in fourth place this year, my brother, because trust me, because any team that plays a first-year coach with no tape, what you going to prepare for?
Okay.
Like the first team, like Atlanta, for example, what are they going to look like? What offense or defense that they're going to go check out to be able to prepare for the Philadelphia Eagles? Because there is none. Because Nick Sirianni has never been a head coach before, and he didn't call the plays and at the Colts. And then Jonathan Gannon, he never been a defensive coordinator before, and he didn't call the plays in Minnesota. So the first couple games, we could catch some teams by surprise. And this is the first time that we are training in a 3-4 and a 4-3. So we could go either way. I'm telling you right now, I'm very high on our team. It's based on our defense last year. We was third in the league in sacks, and we don't blitz last year based under Jim Shorts. So we're not going to be in fourth place. We either going to be fighting for a wild card or win the division.
Okay.
That's my take on that, just based on the facts and the stats I just gave you.
Okay. All right. Well, I always say if there's ever a time to be optimistic about your team, it's right now. And I hear your genuine fandomness about the Eagles, and I love it. JC. We got a couple of quick shout outs here. Coach Dante, welcome.
Hey, that's my guy, Coach. What's up?
Houston Texans fans here. Oh, lots of people tuning in, saying hello, which is awesome. My part of my Ramley, the Ramley Sports Report. He said the Eagles are welcome for that Super Bowl. My Rams help them with knocking Wentz out and ushering in the Foles era. I don't know about that, but we'll give it to him here.
Yeah. Okay.
An interesting question here from our Colts fan in the stream. Jarrett is asking, how does JC feel about the Eagles taking most of the Colts coaching staff?
He's a Colts fan.
Huge Colts fan, yeah.
I love it. Because the only reason why, because the whole rumor was Carson Wentz to the Colts. So the Eagles were like, okay, well, since he wants to go to the Colts, why not bring the Colts coaching staff to Philly?
That was
and he still left. But the fact that the Colts was so successful in the offensive game and their defense was top 5 last year, because I had them in fantasy. Yo, I love the fact that they took the coaches away from them. Yo, I love it because we know one coach is gone. Only one coach, Frank Wright, the Colts head coach right now. He's the reason why Carson Wentz went to trash, because he was the guy behind Doug Peterson. He was a mastermind, coaching Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. Once he left, Carson Wentz was not the same. So imagine if we take your offensive coordinator away from the Colts. I'm just hoping that Frank Wright could still have the mind of Carson Wentz. But hey, why not take another coach from a successful team? If we took a coach from what was the worst team last year? I don't even know. If we took that coach,
the Jaguars?
Yeah. If we took that coach and brought him over, that's no-brainer. No, that don't work. But we took a successful coach that's seen the Philadelphia Eagles system, which is Frank Wright, Andy Reid, Doug Peterson. They're all connected. Mm-hmm. So now he saw, hey, this is how you be successful. And every coach in Philadelphia has been successful. So I love it. Thank you for the coaching staff that you gave us.
I guess maybe that was an undisclosed part of the Carson Wentz trade.
Yeah, I mean it is.
I saw one other comment here. I think I lost it. My bad here. But thank you everyone in the chat for tuning on in here. Here it is. The North Dallas 40 is asking, who is the greatest head coach? For some reason, it's not coming up. Sorry, StreamYard's acting up here. Who is the greatest head coach in Eagles history? Here it is.
I have to say the person that brought us what we've been starving for, Doug Peterson.
Okay.
Andy Reid was there for 14 years. And he went to 4 NFC championship, 1 Super Bowl, but we could not win the big game. And all of a sudden, unknown, but Andy Reid disciple under Andy Reid, he came to Philadelphia, and we won a Super Bowl. So I have to, and he got a statue outside the stadium.
Yep.
So you cannot like Andy Reid, as much game as he won in Philly, he might be in the Eagles Hall of Fame, coach, but the greatest coach has to be Doug Peterson. He was there for 5 years, and like the only time he missed the playoffs twice out of 5 years. You know what I mean? So and won a Super Bowl in between that, and we was depleted on offense and stuff like that. So I would have to say Doug Peterson, just based on what he was able to provide the Philadelphia Eagle fan, the starving fan, 52 plus years, and under that, Andy Reid, Big Red, because we dominated the NFC conference in the early 2000s, 4 NFC championship. We just could not win a Super Bowl. We would have been the team of the 2000s if we could have won every time we went to the NFC championship, advanced to the Super Bowl. Who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, and you know what? I even think back to some of those Andy Reid teams. You know, there was the years with Terrell Owens, Donovan McNabb, Westbrook was in there. All these fantastic Eagles legends that just could not get that Super Bowl, but you got it a couple of years ago. And so, okay, I can agree with your pick. I obviously, as a Rams fan, my favorite Eagles coach of all time was Dick Vermeil.
Dick.
Because after the Eagles, he went on to coach the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Vince Papale, a great movie. If you haven't seen Vince Papale, just watch it. As a football fan, you will enjoy it. Not even as an Eagles fan, but as a football fan, you will enjoy the storyline. A walk on, a brand new coach. Everybody like, what the hell are you doing? He should be fired. And then, hey, we won a couple championships.
North Dallas 40 is asking you, JC, how many games will the Eagles win this year?
It's between 9 to 11 games.
Okay. Yeah.
9-11 games.
In my MOOF series, which is a series where I'm interviewing one fan from every NFL team, we did have an Eagles fan on already, and he predicted an 11-win season for the Eagles.
Okay. I mean, my original pick is 11-6.
Okay.
Because the first 6 games are the hardest games the Eagles are going to play, because they play both Super Bowl back-to-back, or both teams that was in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Within the first 6 weeks. And we played the Falcons, we played the 49ers in there. We do got the Panthers in there. So like the first 6 games after that, I mean, there's the Jets in there, the Raiders in there, the Chargers in there, so it gets a little bit easier. So I say that if we could just split the first 6 games, go 3-3, I'll be popping bottles, champagne. I'm like, yes, we are on our way. Because our bye is in week 14. So it's so late. But after that, it's all divisional games.
Right.
2 against the Washington team, 1 against the Giants, and 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. So if we go 6-5 the second half, remember now, 3-3, 6-5, that's 9-8. 9-8 might be good enough to win the division. And the whole unknown factor of our coaches and our defense, like I said, last year had 49 sacks, was third in the league without blitzing, with sorry, linebackers and corners. I mean, hey, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And that's a good segue, JC. Let's talk about this NFC East division. It was pretty brutal last year. You felt like every week you wanted one of the teams to just click and get hot to win the division. Clearly, Washington football team with that defense led them, but even they kind of stumbled into the playoffs, and Heineke went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and almost won, which would have been really entertaining. But
yeah, it was.
Retrospect. But I'm curious, is this division going to be better next year, or is it going to be the worst division in football again?
This division had the second best overall defense in the NFC. The only division defense-wise that's better than ours is the NFC West with the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because the other division, you got the Bucks. Okay, they're good. But you got the Falcons, the Panthers, and sorry, behind team.
Yeah. Falcon, Panthers.
Well, I come back to that one. And in the North, you got Green Bay, which is okay on defense, but they're not great on defense.
Saints.
Yeah, the Saints.
There we go.
So the Saints, and we beat the Saints last year, which was the number one defense. So how we beat the number one defense and nothing changed because, according to everybody, Taysom Hill is going to start again, which I think is a big mistake, but it is what it is. So I feel like that we had the second best defense in the NFC with the Eagles, third in sacks. And then we upgraded this year. We didn't downgrade, we upgraded, with the Nelson signing, with the Eric Wilson signing, with the Anthony Harris, which led the NFL in interception 2 years ago. So, and then Eric Wilson was the only linebacker last year to record 120 plus tackles, 3 sacks and 3 interceptions. So he was the only linebacker, and he only played 13, 12 games because everybody got hurt, and then he got thrown in there. So we added those guys to our team with Ryan Kerrigan. He's almost at 100 sacks in 10 years. So this dude is averaging 10 sacks a season. And last year he played 30% of the sacks 30% of the plays last year and got 5.5 sacks last year. We added to our team. So, and then the Giants got better. The Washington football team, in my opinion, is just a little bit better overall, the number one defense in our division, but not by much.
Yeah.
By a slim margin, like a paper-thin margin. But so I don't see how our division cannot be. Like, we had the toughest division for a while. And then it went down to the Rams. But the NFC East will always be competitive. Regardless of the record, nobody will ever blow somebody out. Like you never see a 3-4 game spread. Oh my God, they could just relax for the last 3-4 weeks. You never see that. Regardless of the record, we still know how to be in the fight.
Yeah, and I don't think that we can forget that people love to hate on the Cowboys a lot. That is a talented roster that was severely injured last year. And I think even you as an Eagles fan can acknowledge that Dallas was not the best team that they could have been if Dak stays healthy, and along with numerous other injuries on that defensive side of the ball.
They had the best offense. I'm not gonna lie. No Philadelphia Eagle fan would tell you that Dallas does not have the best offense. They had the best offense, but their defense is fourth in the division. Yeah, because it's Washington, Eagles, Giants, and Dallas. And you can't keep outscoring people because if the talent is even as close on offense as you're gonna lose the game. So, but they got the worst defense, the best offense. You tell me 9 times out of 10 who's gonna win, because a defense gonna make 1 or 2 plays to turn that game around, and then you're gonna be chasing like Dallas was the first 4 games last year. It was always down. Your defense was so pathetic. It was always chasing, and you could only come back from so far. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be an interesting season. Can't wait for football to get here. Ramley, he is saying, "I'm glad that my Rams could get."
Thank you.
He does.
Thank you. Yeah, he does.
North Dallas 40 is saying New York and Eagles wink link in the division. Okay, North Dallas 40, he knows football. He really does, and he often has opinions that some people disagree with. But that's why he's one of my favorite subscribers, and I love the perspective it brings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ramley of Sports Report saying, J.C.Eaglestalk, how much do you think Deshaun Jackson can help the Rams? Do you think he has something left in the tank? is he really as injury prone as people say? And I'm gonna caveat this with, I had a video a couple months ago that had there. I forget what website. There was a website that ranked every NFL player headed into next year,
Mm-hmm.
their potential for injury, and by a large margin, they said there is a 99% chance that based on previous injuries, Deshaun Jackson will miss between 6 and 8 games this year.
Yeah, I mean,
But can you give us some encouragement here, JC, as Rams fans?
okay, so the first question is how much do you think he would? I think that he needs to go on third downs. You know why? Because everybody think, oh my God, the Rams gonna go deep. Deshaun Jackson is in the game, double cover. So that automatically leave Cooper, Cup, single, and then
Woods.
Woods
Mm-hmm.
by himself. Y'all tight end,
Higby,
Higby, yo, him by himself, and Deshaun Jackson still at the age of 80 years old, still demand double coverage because he will beat you. So he will definitely help the Rams out to spread out to get the one-on-one matchups to get the first down, even if he's not the guy that's getting thrown the ball. Also, he could help them in the return game.
Yeah.
He's one of the best returner in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like he still can make some plays. He's shifty. He has speed, so he definitely could help the Rams a lot. So I would definitely use him as kickoff and punt return and third down, because then you could protect him from getting injured if he's not playing 30, 40 snaps a game. He needs to play between 15 to 20 snaps. You know, like third downs and stuff like that, or trick plays, you know what I mean? Something. But he's not going to be your every down wide receiver. We've seen that 2 years in Philly. So he only played one game in 35, out of 36. And the other, he was hobbled, he's spleen, so if y'all use him right, he could definitely help y'all out by being a decoy and open up the field. And he is injury prone, absolutely. Or maybe it's just Philly, because every player that comes to Philly get hurt. So I see him play at Washington. He was balling out. He still got hurt, but he didn't miss 15, 16 games like he did in Philly.
Yeah.
So I hope I answered your question. And he still got some left in the tank if you use him the right way. But he's not a 40 or 30 to 45 play guy no more. He's about a 15 to 20.
Yeah.
You use him with trick plays, a decoy, that count as a play, even though he's not getting the ball. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I'm hoping that the Deshaun Jackson signing is one of the signings that the Rams made this offseason that people in retrospect are being like, wow, that was a really good signing. And yeah, there's optimism. And if he does get injured, we drafted a player that pretty much looks exactly like him in Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I am, so we've caught up on some comments. Oh, I missed one from North Dallas 40 here. He's commented on this twice, so I want to make sure I say. He said 4 former Rams quarterbacks who went on to have success with the Eagles. Do any of these guys stick out to you at all?
Jaw, Ron, and Foles.
Oh, obviously.
But Foles was the Eagle first.
And you know what? It's funny. I think sometimes we forget about that Foles-Bradford trade that happened.
Yeah, Foles started off in Philly. We drafted him out of Arizona, I believe. So when McNabb was there. So, so Foles was the Eagles first. And Ron, that's way back in the day. But look, I wish every Eagle player that leave our team success. Like Deshaun Jackson, I would never go against him. He deserve it. He will be in the Eagles Hall of Fame as one of the best wide receivers ever. So, I love every coach or quarterback. Like Frank Wright, I would not be upset if he wins the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz, I won't be upset if he wins the Super Bowl. I would not, because they were in Philadelphia. If we saw them, we cheered for them.
Mhm.
So what would I kind of like, oh my God, no. If it's not Dallas or the Patriots, I would cheer for every other team to be successful. Those are the two teams I hate the most.
Yep.
One of them is a fake America team, Dallas, and the other one's a freaking cheater, the Patriots. So yeah.
I love it, JC. I love it. And I'll say this in regards to one of my favorite moments from the Eagles Super Bowl run from a couple of years ago was when they were playing the Vikings in the playoffs, and you had Nick Foles versus Case Keenum, and it was like
two Rams,
two former Rams quarterbacks under Jeff Fisher that both got cut, and it was like, as a Rams fan, it was heartbreaking. You're like, why couldn't we get to the playoffs with one of those guys? But anyway,
Jeff Fisher, I believe. I mean, he did have McNair, right? He did have McNair. So, and did they go to
and he had some
the Super Bowl? Yeah, they had some good years. So I don't know what happened.
He had some good years with Kerry Collins and Vince Young.
Vince Young too.
Yeah. I think his tenure with the Rams, he was just an old school coach that couldn't adapt to new games. He could, I don't want to talk too much to Jeff Fisher. I made the mistake in another stream earlier this week, but it just gets me salty. Anyway.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, but do you have a coach like that for the Eagles that just grinds your gears?
Yeah, Chip Kelly.
Oh,
he ruined the Eagles. He got rid of all of them in their prime, and not even old, in their prime. McCoy, Jackson, Macklin. He got rid of them. Well, I forgot and we could never replace those guys in their prime. No. So who knows where this team could have went after he left if those players would have still been there. And he got rid of them. Chip Kelly, in my opinion, would be the worst coach in Eagles history.
Okay, yeah. Wow, I totally forgot about how bad Chip Kelly was. Like, because he had like the one good year where his offense caught the league off guard, but then defensive coordinators quickly caught up.
The first year.
Yeah.
I told you, the first year coaches, do not sleep on them. There's no tape. You could only assume that they're going to do what they, Chip Kelly came from Oregon. Mm-hmm. So you can only go back to Oregon and say, oh my God, is he really going to play those old guys like that?
Yeah.
So Nick Sirianni, is he going to play, the code system? We don't know. And that's what I'm saying. You could sneak off a couple wins in between those six. So that's why I'm optimistic. The unknown, I've seen it. I've been watching the NFL for decades. And I've seen first-year head coaches because nobody knows what they're going to run have success. I'm not talking just because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the sports first before I'm an Eagles fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Football fan first, and then obviously you're diehard for your team. No.
Yeah.
North Dallas 40 is asking, can you rate the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFC East?
Easy.
Order? Yeah.
Dak, Hurts, Jones, Fitzpatrick.
Come on.
Fitzpatrick is tragic. He's horrible. Come on now. All right. So if you watch football, when was the last time Fitzpatrick finished a full season? That's number one. Mm-hmm. He's been on 8 teams for a reason and 14, 16 years for a reason. You're not good. You're a quality backup, like in the beginning or the end, but you can't finish the whole season. And we've seen it. He has so much magic in Buffalo. He started hot, man. Fitz magic season. People growing their beards. They got and also he started throwing interceptions. The pressure started getting to him. So that's what I'm saying. In our division, I feel like that he's the worst quarterback just based on the fact that he cannot finish a 16-game season the way he started. So I suggest that, the Heineken start the season, halfway through the season, and they go 4-4. Mm-hmm. But you got a quarterback that could come in and go on a freaking streaky run, a very hot run. So because I've not seen him start a 16 game in so long. So that's why I got him last. I got Dak Prescott first because he's a proven, Pro Bowl, quarterback. I got Jalen Hurts second because of his mobility. He played on two different teams in college. Yes, this is not college, but the SEC, there's plenty of teams that could beat the professional teams. Like, I'm pretty sure every team thought so that the Browns back in the day would have lost to Alabama. Like, I'm pretty sure. So he played, he been tested, he been benched, he came in, win him a championship. So he's been battle tested. And then his first 4 games last year, could you believe the first 3 games? Him and Deshaun Watson, he was better than Deshaun Watson in stats his first 3 games.
We forget about that, but yeah, he was doing well. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. With no preseason, with no real training, hey, just go in, boom, hey, you're the guy. And he still beat the #1 defense last year. He came in and beat them, rushing over 100 yards rushing, over 300 yard passing, 3 touchdowns. He torched them last year. So that's his ceiling. You know what I mean? Just being able to do that. And then Daniel Jones, he's been in the league for 2 years that we've seen what he's about. He turns the ball over so much. He trying, he reminds me of Eli Manning, but he got a better arm than Eli.
Yeah.
But he just, once you start getting hit, it's like hurry up and throw it away, fumble it. Man, he hold it too long. No ball security. Him and Carson Wentz was the worst in our division with ball security. So that's how I got him ranked,
Okay. Yeah, I want to get. I don't disagree with you, but I do want to give some love to former Ram Ryan Fitzpatrick. People forget.
Wait, he played for the Rams?
He was drafted by the Rams in the 7th round.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even remember that.
So he was in the same draft as like Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I see.
It's so funny because he was drafted the 7th round by the Rams. He didn't play a lot, like he didn't appear in a lot of games, but he like did well. Didn't light it up. But then he got traded to the Bengals. And then he did have some good game with the Bengals, which then led him to get the big contract with Buffalo.
Exactly.
And sorry, I got to plug in my laptop here because it's telling me it's about to die. So, okay, you're good.
Okay.
Almost ruined the whole – I made that mistake once. Anyway. But no, so, yeah, he was with the Bills. And I won't go through the entire Ryan Fitzpatrick history because that's a whole other stream in itself. You know what? Maybe that's a good idea for a stream, just the history of Ryan
Fitzpatrick. The history of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
But there is something about Ryan Fitzpatrick that there's a reason he's still in the league and still gets to compete for starting QB jobs because the guy's, I think he's 39.
Well, he's up there. Yeah,
I think he's 38 or 39. And to get to be that age and still, like he clearly did not have the career that Aaron Rodgers has had. And then Alex Smith, unfortunately with his injury, that's just sort of ended that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to come in and have an MVP type of year for Washington.
Okay.
But I firmly believe between him, Heineke, and Kyle Allen, there is enough variance in this Washington offense with Terry McLaurin and Gibson at running back. This team is not to be taken lightly on offense.
No.
And I think if Ryan Fitzpatrick does have one of his games where he's going off, defensive coordinators are going to be like, oh, we got Fitzmagic today, right?
Yeah,
and, today. I do agree with you, though. I think that, if Fitzmagic can get, hot towards the end of the season, with that defense led by Chase Young, dangerous team. Dangerous team.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything you just said. I agree. And I don't even have Dallas winning the division. I'm more scared of the Washington football team because they have a decent quarterback. Unlike last year when they went, through the whole, quarterback carousel. So I'm not arguing anything. I'm just saying he's just based since he was in Buffalo. he have hot streaks and he have very long cold streak, and that's why he always end up getting benched. That's why. So I'll be happy if he starts the season, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you start blowing games. That's good for me.
Yeah.
So, but I'm suggesting that he start the second half because I know how hot he could get. So if I'm a coach, you have to know your players. You have to go back and Ryan Fitzpatrick, 5-6 years and say, you know what, this guy has not really played very well for 16, 17 games. And then you decide from there.
Absolutely. The Ramlia Sports Report, he's saying, as a Rams fan from Cali, since 79, only good thing from Jeff Fisher was defensive players he drafted, and because of his mediocrity, it helped Stan Kroenke return my Rams back home to LA. So, okay, thank you
for the history lesson.
Yeah,
I appreciate it because I didn't know that.
Between North Dallas 40 and Ramlia Sports Report, I am so blessed to have them as subscribers and people that I get to communicate with about the Rams. And yeah, they know their stuff. Yeah, it's great. They make me a better fan for sure. Luder Chris, welcome, another loyal Rams subscriber. He said Jeff Fisher only had one good season in 2008 when coaching the Titans, and he had Chris Johnson, but got eliminated by Baltimore in the division. Okay, yeah.
No, I mean, who took the Titans to Super Bowl?
That was Jeff Fisher, I guess. Yeah, but in '99.
Yeah,
that was a good year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go Super Bowl because you had Eddie George there. I mean, the MVP. What, he was co-MVP that year, right, with Peyton Manning?
I couldn't say. I have to look it up. But
he had a couple. Sporadically, and not together.
Yeah, and I think again, I don't want to talk too much about Jeff Fisher because it just brings. I want to sleep tonight, folks. I don't want to get nightmares. I think he was someone who had a limited amount of success, but not so much success that he was able to hold on to a job. But he was with the Titans for a long time. He was with the Rams for I think 4 years, 5 years, 4. And glad he's gone. So glad that he brought in the Sean McVay era.
I think he was more of a defense-minded coach than an offensive-minded coach.
But and you know what? Let's shift this a little bit here. So J.C.Eaglestalk, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I know we're coming close to an hour, and I really feel like you have just a really great football perspective, even without being an Eagles fan. I really appreciate that. So can you tell me, going into this 2021 year,
can
you give me a dark horse team to watch out for in the NFC and the AFC?
All right. So the NFC, my dark horse team is coming out the NFC West, dark horse.
Okay.
And you won't know because it's Russell Wilson.
Okay.
I believe that you can never count him out. We see him with bad offensive line, good offensive line. But Seattle, for some reason, they're always there. They're always sniffing around. It could get hot. Last year, I think that they went pretty far if Russell Wilson wasn't trying to win the MVP every freaking, play. But I think that's a dark horse team to look out for because nobody got Seattle going, to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's a dark horse team. And then in an AFC, they did some things. I mean, but you know what? The Colts, because I think with their defense that they have, and Carson Wentz, people has trashed Carson Wentz. He is no good. Nobody think that Carson Wentz could stay healthy and take a team to a playoff. At that, the Super Bowl. So the Colts and the Seahawks are my two dark horse teams. And you?
I've thought a lot about this, but as I'm looking at the way it is, I think for the NFC, the dark horse I'm going to say is actually the Minnesota Vikings. Just because you look at their division, Bears, they're going to have to ride with Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, so rookie quarterback. I think their defense is due for a little bit of regression. It's hard to sustain, a top-tier defense, and they've been doing it for a while. I think this is the year it kind of goes down.
Okay.
And then the Lions, full-on rebuild. Yes, the Packers, we have Rodgers back, but
Rodgers back. The last dance.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to say, though, and the Packers, I think they're a team due for some regression, and I think that locker room is fragile. Like don't get me wrong, I loved hearing Aaron Rodgers' press conference yesterday, and I don't know if you got a chance to check it out, but
I checked it out.
I thought he was very well spoken. He brought in some really great points from the human and business side of football that often goes overlooked. However, I think that if that team, loses like the littlest bit, I just think it's a very because of everything that went on this offseason, I hear some people saying like, oh, a ticked off Rodgers is not one I want to play, right? And maybe that's true. Yeah. But I also think that he maybe burned some bridges that team doesn't do as well as they've done the past couple of years. I mean, can you go 13-3 3 years in a row? I don't know.
I mean, hey, you might not have to. You just might have to win your division. And I think that they could win the NFC North.
Yeah. And sorry, I got sidetracked there talking about the Packers. But with the Vikings, the reason why they're my dark horse is Kirk Cousins. It's a make or break year for him. I'm not a huge fan of Kirk Cousins, but I do think that the times in his career where it's been make or break, he has performed. I think you have Mike Zimmer, who's one of the best defensive minds in football, and he had a terrible defense for the first time in his career last year, which he will not be happy with, and I think it'll be kind of an outlier year for Mike Zimmer. And then you have Justin Jefferson,
my guy,
Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. That's a good offense, and that O-line's no joke either. So I'm not saying the Vikings are necessarily going to be a team to win the Super Bowl or something, but I think at some points in the year they're going to be a top 10 team that people will be surprised about.
Okay, I mean, they lost a couple key pieces on their defense. Anthony Harris was their starting safety. Even though Bars and Kendricks was hurt last year, but Eric Wilson, I mean, he led the league, from the time he came in tackles. But I mean, but I don't. If you are riding on Kirk Cousins' arm, you're not going to get far. You need to feature Dalvin Cook. Exactly. Yeah. So now, if you stop him, yes. Justin Jefferson is young, but Adam Thielen, I mean, he's been elite for a while now, and for quite a while. So, but now they're going to be focused on, and then they lost their tight end and Rudolph. So, I mean, the chemistry may not be there, but we'll see. But the Packers, and they're bringing Randall Cobb is coming back. It's the last dance. They're bringing the band back together. The Bulls' last dance. Yeah. It was hard. But they still managed to get through it. And then Devontae Adams, he's fighting for a new contract. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a whole bunch of factors in there. So I feel like that the Packers will come out the North. Unless the Vikings win a wild card, they're not beating the Packers in the North.
Well, and again, I like the story of the Packers. I'm just not sure I'm going to read the book because I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if it's going to be written that way this year. All right. I feel like everybody is already saying the Packers are going to run away with that division and ticked off Aaron Rodgers is going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I think that that organization is more fragile and that team and locker room is more fragile than we know.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing I didn't like about the Aaron Rodgers press conference is why you wait so long. If you had all these complaints back in the day, why you wait 14, 16 years to say, because right now he don't have no security. He always had, you know what, I'm the man, I'm good, this and that. Shit, you could get rid of everybody. I'm still gonna be here.
Yeah.
But lately, after they drafted the quarterback, he was like, oh shoot, man. So now his ego got hurt. And that's the reason why I think this whole thing went on. Because this been going on for years, according to him.
Yeah.
So why wait till this year, to actually bring it out? So I feel like that was because he was so, privileged, that, hey, I deserve this. So
well, and I appreciated his press conference where he affirmed multiple times, like, I'm not a victim. This organization has paid me a lot of money, and he. I think he saw what happened with Brady and even back in the day Peyton Manning to the Broncos, right? Where they go to these new teams and the new team is just so excited to have them and
they win
and they win and they give them tons of control with personnel and who makes the bet. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And oh, dude, I love talking. I love talking football with you, JC. Oh, yeah.
And your AFC now, your dark horse.
My apologies. Yeah, so I actually think the AFC this year has a lot of talented teams in it.
Yeah.
And it's tough to say like they're a dark horse team because they have had sustained success. But I'm going to say something that I know a lot of people aren't going to like.
Do not say the Jaguars.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
I think they're going to be better next year because you can't get any worse, like unless they lose every game next year. But no. I am going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, hold up. I know what you're thinking. What are you thinking, Payo Time? Okay, hear me out. It's not because of Big Ben. I think that Mike Tomlin, it's mainly my belief in Mike Tomlin as a head coach. Okay. I think he's a fantastic head coach. He knows his team fell off a cliff last year after winning 11 games. And I think
11-0.
Like people forget that they went 11-0, right? Like that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I think that they still have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Lost a couple of people. Dupree was a big loss.
Yeah, but I think that when you look at Big Ben taking a pay cut, I don't think people appreciate how much that did for that team with their cap situation. Because it was a big pay cut, right? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like in the double digits. Like I think he went from like 36, like 13, like you know what I mean, something like that.
Yeah, like a massive pay cut. Yeah. And then so they drafted the running back because they knew
Najee Harris
needed to improve. I still think the Steelers are one of the best organizations at drafting and developing wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Claypool, Canadian, just shut up. I think that that crew, they're young receivers that are hungry and ready to make a mark. The thing is, they play in a really tough division, but I think it's going to be a fight to win that AFC North. But I think that if Big Ben, have you seen Big Ben? Like he definitely looks like he's lost some weight.
Look, I've seen Big Ben for the past 20 years. I've had him in fantasy a lot. The problem with the Steelers, they can't keep going to when they had Antonio Brown there, just keep throwing. His arm would get tired. Yeah. And that's what happened. Like the later the season went, week 12, his arm was getting tired, and he was never a high thrower. I mean, he was always passing the ball. Like the the defensive line was tipping it up. Yeah. I don't believe that if you're gonna rely on him to throw it like 40, 50 times a game last year, I mean, you're not gonna win a lot of games. Yeah, the defense is great, but
and so that's to my point about Mike Tomlin. He's not a stupid coach. He's going to see this is clearly – he's probably rewatched every Steelers game like 3 times last year. And he's like, okay, so clearly this is what we need to correct. And Mike Tomlin, he's a coach that's going to correct it.
Okay. All right. Hey, but we just have to see.
Yeah. Now, clearly you still have a division with Baltimore and the Browns, who are good teams. And then in the AFC, there's some powerhouse teams. You got the Chiefs in there.
Chiefs in there.
The Bills look scary good.
The Titans.
The Titans look scary good.
With Julio Jones. Ooh, AJ Brown.
The Colts look like a good team.
Yeah.
You can even make an argument that, teams that are kind of in that lower tier, like the Bengals and the Jaguars, they're going to be more competitive next year.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Dolphins.
Dolphins can steal some
wins. Like the AFC East is, I'm telling you, hey, you talking about Tomlin. Bill Belichick does not make the same mistake twice. And he loaded up this year, and he's about to come with a vengeance. Yeah.
It's man, I can't wait for the season to start. Oh man, you get me pumped.
Yes, sir.
But JC, I do think it is a natural time for us to end. But thank you so much for coming.
Wait. You never told me who's going to win your division. What's your prediction? Who's going to finish in order in your division? Do not escape that one. Because the Rams fans are listening to you right now. Pay your time. Tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah. Okay, we're the team that is going to win the best division in football, the NFC West, is none other than the legendary Los Angeles Rams. That's right. I think that
there's no expression here.
Nothing. You don't think we're gonna win? You think Seattle's gonna win?
No, there's no facial expression because I agree with you. And once you're done, I will tell you why.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, I compare this current Rams team a lot with the 2010 Saints. I think that we have some defensive players that aren't household names, but they're in their second or third year of their career. They're ready to make some big steps forward. We found out this week that our safety Jordan Fuller will be calling plays on defense, which that's crazy because he's replacing John Johnson. So that's a vote of confidence.
Yeah.
We have obviously Matthew Stafford, upgrade at quarterback position. We have a underrated wide receiving core with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, but now Deshaun Jackson, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell getting that. We have Tyler Higbee at tight end. Another tight end, we drafted Jacob Harris, who is 6'5" and has 4.3 speed and who's lighting it up at training camp.
Okay.
In the Cam Akers, that was a loss. Not going to lie. That hurt.
Big loss.
That hurt. But we do have Gerald Henderson, who's a capable running back who I think, he's still a young running back that has a very impressive, yard after or like yards per carry stat to him. And I think that the young running backs we have behind him with Xavier Jones, Otis Anderson, there's some talent there. Jake Funk that in that running back room, we can make some noise. And I have us between a 13 and 16 win team when I look at our schedule.
Wait, 13, what, 16-1?
I think there's a potential. Yeah.
So you might go 5-1 in the division?
We just seem to have this struggle with the Niners. But that would probably be my guess. But if I go through our schedule, depending on the day, I'll say we're a 13-win team. But if you get me on a really optimistic day, I'll say we're a 16, 17-win team, depending on the day.
Okay. Well, look. I'm about to go the opposite way. It is going to be the Rams, but y'all defense is what's going to make y'all or break y'all.
Donald Ramsey.
Yeah. Donald, Floyd, y'all have a great defense, either top 5 defense. But I love the Sam Bradford pickup. I love that pickup.
Sam Bradford?
No. Matthew Stafford. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm
talking about the Rams. The Matthew Stafford.
Bradford back. JC, don't scare me.
I'm like Sam Bradford. I'm like, is it Sam Bradford? I'm like, yeah, Sam Bradford. No, the Matthew Stafford pickup was the biggest steal, I think, in the offseason by any team because y'all were one quarterback away from winning it all. Yeah. With that defense, With y'all, ain't nobody sleeping on the Rams wide receivers. Ain't nobody sleeping on Cooper Kupp. What was the other one there?
Robert Woods.
And nobody, they've been the best Tatum, the duo, the past couple years. And nobody's sleeping on the Rams at all. But the Cam Akers injury is going to be bigger than y'all think unless y'all go out and bring somebody in. So that's what I think, because, yes, Anderson is young. This is his second year. Last year he was a rookie. So this is his second year. So that's a lot of load, for him to carry, especially now it's 17 games.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, Matthew Stafford could average 300 plus throwing yards a game. He could be, you know what? I might pick him on my fantasy football team, honest truth. Yeah, for real.
First round? You pick him in the first round?
Not the first round, because I don't pick quarterback on the first round. I don't pick quarterback in first, second, third round. I don't pick no quarterback. So that means that he will still be there round 4, 5, and 6, because the Mahomes is going to go first. The Brady's, all because of the names and stuff like that. The Josh Allen, but watch out. Matthew Stafford, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Easy. Absolutely. So I think that y'all going to win that division. I think there might be even 3 teams that come out that division, because there's 3 wild card teams now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And before it was only 2, now it's 3, so why not have, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks come out. And then that's why I said the NFC East might only have the division winner.
Yep.
And then the NFC North, it might have, the division winner and maybe a wild card, the Vikings, like you said, and then the last one just have the division winner.
Yeah.
So
there's even a case, I'm not sure with this new 17-game season if the math works out, but there's potential that all 4 teams in the division make the playoffs.
Well, because y'all gonna beat on each other, so it's hard if it's
that. But I think if you have the rest of the NFC that just right this year doesn't look as good as the AFC, and if it's just a division winner from the North, the South, and the East, you can make it the Vikings argument there, but out of the other divisions, where are your wild card teams?
Well, that's what I say. The Vikings might be wild card. So that means there's only 3 teams in your division, the division winner and 2 wild cards.
Yeah, but
and then the other wild card is the Vikings, and that's it. But so that's everybody.
Besides the Vikings, who do you see in the NFC as a wild card team?
Well, it depends, man. The Saints might be, the Saints maybe. I mean, Sean Payton, the coaches have a lot to do with this too. You know what I mean? Sean Payton is a great coach.
Yeah.
And he could use the tools around him, with Winston and Hill, So I mean, he could use the tools around him. But the only bad thing for the Saints is Michael Thomas is maybe missed the whole first month of the season. So that's a bad thing. Yeah. So that's why I said 3 coming out the West: the Rams, the Seahawks, and maybe the 49ers, or maybe the Cardinals. But all 4 teams, that will be an historic. Yeah, historic, because usually y'all beat on each other. So it's and then I don't know their schedule, especially if you said that the AFC is loaded. They might lose some teams in the AFC.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm just one of those. I like to play the what if game, and what
if the Eagles shock the world and win the Super Bowl this year? What if we're playing the what if game? So let's play what if.
Okay, if that happens, I will be shocked because no one's picking the Eagles to win this year, but.
Just like 2017, nobody picked them to win, and we was the best team in the league.
And you know what? That's the beauty of football, though. There's so much change every year. There's teams that underperform. There's teams that overperform.
Yeah.
there's teams that, like the Chiefs last year, everyone thought they were going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it was
we
a
already
question
knew
of
that.
which NFC team was going to beat, be there to play them, right?
Yep.
And we interesting comment here from a Buffalo Bills fan, Jake.
All right.
And Bears going to surprise some people. Fields going to prove 9 teams wrong. Okay.
Fields going to start.
I don't think Fields starts the season.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think Andy Dalton holds on to that job all year.
Yeah. So all depends when he comes in. You know what I mean? So all depends when he comes in. Just like Fitzpatrick's situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see him holding the job the whole year. So
absolutely. But well, JC, this has been a blast.
Yes, sir.
We definitely got to do this again. I have
of course
thoroughly enjoyed hanging out and talking football with you. And I wish you nothing but success. If you are watching this on the replay or live with us now, please go over to J.C.Eaglestalk. His link for his channel is in the description below. And we are going to have a definitely more collabs in the future.
Yes, sir.
And, thank you so much for coming on in to the stream.
Hey, no problem, man. Hey, thank you for inviting me, man. Because look, like I said, I'm always willing to talk to other teams and, trying to see what they think about their own team, because, hey, you never know. We might meet up in a playoff somewhere, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm always trying to cheat a little bit. Hey, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about your guy? You know what I mean? So I'm always open. I love talking football. I love talking sports. So if y'all watching and y'all any other fan, if y'all want to hit me up, just hit me up. J.C.Eaglestalk. Hey, like my man Payo said, and my link is below. Or if not, I'm on IG and Twitter under the same name, J.C.Eaglestalk. So
awesome. Well, this is Payo Time and J.C.Eaglestalk. Peace out.
Go Birds.
Go Rams.